Hey guys, how's it going? CoderMan here. In today's video, I wanted to go over the possibility of using the Hyundai Palisade as a camper. So is this possible, and kind of how would I set it up? And of course, I'm making these kind of videos because I'm still waiting for my Bronco, which, as you guys probably can imagine, I still don't have, and I really don't have an update. But I wanted to kind of go over, I think you could use this as a camper, so let's get into the details of it. So before we jump into this video, I want to quickly mention that I'm doing the radar detector and battery tender on this. And then I also have a new toy, which I'll be making some videos on pretty soon. I am back on two wheels for those who don't follow me on Instagram. So I'll definitely be making some videos and having a whole lot of fun with this. So for those who hadn't seen my previous video, I actually did a full drive, POV drive and overview of this car. And for those who don't know, this is my wife's SUV. And we actually had to let our friends borrow it to move some stuff. And I was thinking, if I come around to the back here, so first off, we have the 7-seater, so we have the 2 captain's chairs, and then we have 3 in the back, which, I'll overlay some footage here. We've had some car seats. But basically what I was thinking was, as you start to put all of this down, you actually get a lot of space. And what's great is the way the Hyundai has this set up, that you can quickly convert this into what I would consider kind of like a truck, albeit with an interior. So you got some buttons over here on the left that you basically can manipulate the second and third row seats. And basically, if I just hit this here, you'll actually see that these guys will drop automatically. And then if I come back over here and hold this down, you'll see that these are going down. And I do apologize for the noise. The whole entire neighborhood is filled with kids. But if we come back over to here and we hit this other button here, the third row, this one will go down. Now, you'll notice right off that there's a bump. Right, so it definitely doesn't lay flat. If I go like this, you can really see it. And I was thinking, well, that kind of stinks. Can't really do much with it. However, if you come around over here and you actually hit this here, and it actually will drop more. And I'm actually only doing it with one hand, so I'm going to quickly move the camera, and you can push it down with your other hand, and now you actually have a lay flat, which, believe it or not, the Bronco will not do. So again, just right here, push this up and push this down, and now you have a lay flat. So now you can see, if I lay the camera down, you have a nice flat surface. And basically what had happened was, I was sitting in here with my wife and daughter, kind of ripping this all apart so they could borrow the car. And I was thinking, man, you could actually put some sort of a air mattress, or even just a comforter if it was a short run. But okay, so now you have all the seats down, you've lost all your storage. Well, if I go ahead and grab the key out of the way, and you go ahead and you open up this here, it's right now full of crap, but there's actually a pretty good amount of storage in here. And if I actually move out some of this stuff here, you can see down that you have a pretty good amount of space. And then your spare tire and jack is right there. But so you have a little bit of space here. And then if you come around again, because we have the 7-seater, you got some space here, and then you also have some front space. So while I'm talking about cargo space in here, one additional thing I wanted to mention is you actually have some tie downs here. There's a plastic hook, so obviously don't put anything of pressure here. But these are metal, so actually those are hard ABS as well. And then you have another one over here as well. So you can tie some stuff down in the back. You can actually take this, and if I grab it, you can actually hook it on right here, and it actually holds up this, so that you can easily get to things in here and not have to constantly be holding this up. So could you have the seats completely down, in, say, quote, camping mode, and also be able to fit, all your family's luggage? Probably not inside the car. However, if I come up to the top, we actually have the Hyundai roof rack. You could very easily affix a ski rack, and then you could also put a ski box up here, and you could put all your luggage there. This also has pretty good towing rating, and I'll put it up on the screen here, so you could also do a tow behind and have that additional room. So would you buy a Hyundai Palisade to camp in it? I don't think you would. Honestly, for this spec here, I think it was close to $50,000. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. Buy a Nissan Xterra or something like that is more, suited to that. But if you had this in your family like we do, could you actually use it? And I'm actually going to now show some of the measurements, and then I'm also going to show a product that I found on Amazon that you could actually get a air mattress that fits in here, as well as some couple other configurations that you could put like coolers and things like that. So I'm going to jump into that now. All right, so with the magic of editing, I've now grabbed a tape measure, and I'm basically going to lay this down right here, and then I'll give the measurements. So the first measurement I'm going to do is straight up to the center console. I'm going to back it off a little bit because you'd never have your gear right up against it. And that gives me 82 inches of space there. And then if I come across this way, I'm going to account for, in just a second I'm going to explain, I'm going to be counting for something here. I got 53 inches that way, which you can see right there. However, you'll notice that the wheel arches on both sides are going to definitely remove some ability to lay something flat from front to back, from back to front. Say right there to right there. I could probably put a 40-inch bed in here and then all the way back to 80. So, you know, that's enough space. And with these little indents here, obviously it's not going to go here. You could stuff a duffel bag right here. You could stuff toiletries and things like that. Again, like I said, I'm not saying that this is the end-all be-all camping vehicle, but if it's something that you have in your family already and you wanted to go out with, say, 2 or 3 of them, you could. You obviously wouldn't have the seats down while you're driving, so you got space for people. Also space for cargo, because as you get to your campsite, you're probably going to take a bunch of stuff out. In addition to that, when you fold these up, which I can show, I'm actually just going to edit this, but basically you just push these buttons right here. You can push them simultaneously and it'll come up. So now that I have the 2 seats up, you still do have some usable space right here, which I can quickly show you with the tape measure. What do you got there? You got 19 inches, say back it off to 18 inches. And then across you have, say, 54 inches, 53 inches, let's back it up to 52 inches. So you have 18 by 52, you can be able to put a small cooler here. Could you put a massive Yeti cooler? No, probably not. However, if you didn't have the number of kids that my wife and I have, you could put this seat down or you could put this seat down and you'd have that vertical space right here to fit some additional cargo. And then, like I mentioned before, you obviously have the roof rack. In addition to the actual livable space inside of here, there's some other things that this car has that's kind of unique. And if I come over here to the center console, you'll see that I have some, obviously I have some power outlets. Well, we have our 12 volt, which makes a lot of sense. But in addition, we also have an AC. So I can plug in, you know, whatever I need. An AC, it's actually grounded. You twist it to when you plug it in, and you now have AC. If I come around to the back, I got a 12 volt jack right here. Did Hyundai design this for utility? Did they design this as a camping option? I'm not really sure, but in finding this, I was kind of like, hey, this is kind of interesting. I would definitely want to share this. You know, and in regards to the model that my wife purchased, she got the Limited, I think it's called. It comes with all of the infotainment stuff. So you of course have, you know, you have the Harman Kardon sound system. So while you're, you know, basically at the campsite, you can essentially use this as a tailgate vehicle. Now, one interesting thing about actuating the seats here is you can move the 3rd row, which is this here. You can move that up and back. However, the headrests don't come up automatically. So when you're done, you got to pop those. But more importantly, the 2nd row only goes down. So if I push those buttons, they're not going to do anything because the seats are down. So of course the question comes, how do you get this back into a livable vehicle? Well, you basically just pull right here and then you pull the seat up, which of course I can't do while I'm holding the camera. So you just do that. However, on this side here, it's obviously a little tricky because you got to go around the car. But actually you don't. If I go ahead and climb in here and I grab my tape measure, you'll actually see, if I spin the camera around, you'll see these red handles, red straps rather, and there's one here too. And what this actually lets you do is if you pull this, it releases the seat. And if I actually put the camera down, I'm not sure how good this angle is going to be, I can actually, holding that, can bring the seat up, and I don't have to get out of the car and walk around and, you know, actuate it. And ignore the messy seats. Don't have children if you don't want a mess in your car. And then for some creature comforts, as far as the vehicle driving to your destination with your adult friends or your kids or whoever, the rear seat gets heated and cooled seats and their own air conditioning, or sorry, their own climate controls, so you can be comfortable. But this could also double when those seats are down. You'll see if I pop up here, let's see if it's gonna focus. There's air vents kind of all through this vehicle. So this here is actually gonna control that, and you could actually have climate control in the rear while you're in your sitting area, or your bed, or what have you. So what I'm actually gonna do is, I'm 5'10", and I'm gonna put the seats down again. I'm actually gonna edit it out, and I'm actually gonna just show you me sitting inside as well as laying down to show the space that you have. Okay, so now it's back to its lay flat configuration, and I'm actually just gonna climb in, and you know, it's not really that high of a step. In fact, you know, you could actually just get your foot up and get right in. My neighbors probably think I'm insane, but they probably think I'm insane when I'm filming anyways. So I'm actually sitting here, and we have the panoramic moonroof, which definitely adds to the kind of the overall look and feel, as well as the comfort level and non-claustrophobicness. But I'm actually sitting in here, and I'm basically kind of diagonal right now, but you can see that I still have some more space, and my back's not out the door. So if I sit more kind of in the way that you would probably sleep, I'll actually lay down. Now my neighbors definitely think I'm insane. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this shot for you guys because it is a little too dark. So I had to take off the ND filter, but basically you can see that my legs are not out the car, and my back is essentially right to here. So if I lay down, I'm gonna land kind of in this area. And I have all this space here for a partner or my own gear if I'm off by myself. So what could I see the use in using this as a, you know, really an overland vehicle, but as like kind of a camper? Well, there's a couple of options here. One, if you're traveling from point A to point B, you don't want to stay in a hotel, which I have a buddy that does car photography, and he does that. This would be a great option by yourself because you'd have all your gear on one side and your ability to sleep on the other. In addition to that, if you're kind of, you know, a backpacker, you want to go, let's say hiking or something like that, you can bring your gear, sleep overnight, hike, whatever you want to do. So all sorts of options there as well. And the reason that I kind of even recommend this, other than the fact that it's in my driveway, I can make this video, is first of all, it got me thinking, is it possible? But also it's, you know, the trim level and everything in here is really great, but also it's a Hyundai, so it's gonna last, right? You're going to be able to keep this vehicle on the road for quite a long time. In fact, Hyundai gives you a pretty amazing warranty, and then of course you can add an extended warranty if you want. So I think my neighbors probably think I'm crazy enough for everything that I do, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. But I just wanted to kind of bring this to you guys' attention because you may not have thought of a vehicle like this to actually be able to camp in. And honestly, if I had some sort of a camping setup right now, which I don't because my Bronco's still delayed, I would actually take this out and bring some gear and kind of film it, which, you know, I may do. So I'm curious, you know, leave a comment below. Do you want to actually see me take this vehicle camping? Is it something you'd be interested in to see the possibilities? So as always, I appreciate you guys checking out these videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.